Check it out.
Yeah. It's like when you go to an open mic and they don't know how to use the soundboard and you just sound like you're in a hallway.
This is the cathedral setting.
Yeah. For when you want to sound bad and have nobody be able to understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's good for an evil laugh, though.
Yeah. And this is there's an echo.
Ooh. Yeah.
Truncated echo.
Ooh.
Okay, I have to stop. I was having too much fun.
We could definitely spend a long time on that.
Yeah, I got the mixing board fixed, so all of the clicking and static that people didn't notice, except for me. Hopefully that won't be happening. Carter got his second shot yesterday, so he's in the throes of vaccine haze. So it's just me and Sam. But in just about 10 minutes, we're going to be getting a call from Indiana. We'll be talking to the Violet Wanderers podcast. They're going to be hanging out with us for the rest of this. But I figured we should start with. We're coming down to the end, man. We're in the final stretch of my road acquired energy drinks, and today,
you know what that means.
We got to go find them in LA.
You got to sober up off energy drinks.
No, we got to go smurfing.
Rivers has already had an energy drink today.
I
can confirm that. I saw it happen earlier.
I have. I didn't do coffee today though, so
that's good.
I just did a purple guava something bang, and it was just okay.
Rivers accidentally ordered pizza dough and then turned it into cinnamon sticks like they do at fucking, what's that buffet called?
Cece's.
Yeah, there they go.
Yeah. So, two examples of me being a fucking idiot. One, we were supposed to have the Violet Wanderers on last Tuesday, and I totally forgot, and we got going. We did the whole show, and then I looked at my phone, and Alexis was like, hey, we're hanging out in the Zoom. I was like, oh, shit. So we rescheduled for today. So count one of me being an idiot. Count two, yesterday after we went to Bakersfield, Carter, Joe Rains, and I went back and watched a movie and ordered some pizza from a place called DeSano's. And Joe was insisting that DeSano's has these amazing garlic knots. And I did not see garlic knots anywhere on the menu. But he had made the detail. He was like, the garlic knots are so good, you're only allowed to order 4 per customer or something. And I saw something on there that just said pizza dough limit 4 per customer. And I was like, oh, okay, well, garlic knots, if nothing else, they are kind of pizza dough.
Yeah.
So I ordered that, and we got our 2 pizzas, and then there was a little box on top, and I was like, ooh, garlic knots. And I opened it up, and it was just raw pizza dough. So
That's how you know the quarantine's gone on too long. Like, hey, you probably have nothing to do at this point.
Yeah.
You trying to make your own pizza or something?
Yeah.
Well, you bored of just ordering pizza? We can fix that.
I mean, it was $5 for the pizza dough.
Yeah.
It's like a really economical way to make a badass pizza, because honestly,
it costs them like $1 to make that.
The dough is the hardest fucking part to do.
Is it?
I mean, when compared to just spreading sauce and dumping cheese, I mean,
it's hard to make dough that tastes good.
Exactly. DeSano's
the part, yeah.
Oh, absolutely great dough. But I, instead of, because we were already pizzaed out, so I covered it with butter and cinnamon and sugar. We made some cinnamon sticks. So,
And the house still smells like cinnamon.
Yep.
Hours later.
And so when life gives you pizza dough, make cinnamon sticks.
Or pizza.
Or pizza.
Or calzone.
Yeah, cinnamon sticks if you're lazy.
True.
But yeah, the one I got for today, this is made in Everett, Washington, and it's called Green Dragon. So
it's some sort of green tea or something.
That's what I'm assuming. So it does say
kind of no flavor.
Yeah, there's no flavor listed. But yeah, let's we'll go ahead.
If this liquid is not green, it's going to upset me legitimately. It's good Carter's not here, because now we get to drink more energy drink.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's green enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Mountain Dew green.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Mountain Dew green, meaning yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow. Alrighty, let's give this a try.
It smells like Red Bull.
Yep, tastes like it too. Damn it.
And it's more yellow. It looks more like it looks like urine after you've taken a B12 vitamin.
I'm pretty upset. I was hoping it was a green tea situation, and it is just a straight Red Bull ripoff.
Yeah.
Ugh, bad.
Yeah, we should have known when the name was Green Dragon. They just replaced the color and the animal.
Yeah, well, they've got like a monster version of, I think it's called like Dragon or something, but it's like a yerba mate at least.
I've seen that.
Yeah, this is just
yerba mate is just an energy drink on its own.
Right.
They just market it as tea so you don't feel like you're fat. When in reality, you're drinking just as much sugar, if not more.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked to find they have now made it out to a polar seltzer water, orange vanilla.
What's that?
It tastes like a creamsicle. It's like a seltzer water, but it tastes like an orange vanilla creamsicle.
Rivers loves creamsicle, guys.
It's a good flavor.
If you give him one thing and give him something creamsicle.
Yeah, they got that. They got a creamsicle rain. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've tasted it.
Yeah,
it tastes like creamsicle.
Yep, it's a good flavor.
I never got into it when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The idea of orange and milk is still... It's not bad, but every time I'm just like, this is strange a little bit.
Dude, I literally had an Orange Julius yesterday.
Where do they even have that?
They're attached to Dairy Queens now. Dairy Queen acquired Orange Julius. So
actually, you know what? I remember that.
Yeah.
When I was in Oxnard, I was very confused by that. But.
Yeah, we were coming back from Bakersfield and just, saw that there was a Dairy Queen off the interstate near Six Flags, and we're like, ooh, and stopped, and everybody else got Blizzards, and I was like, no. Orange Julius. Hit me with it.
Yeah, you can get a McFlurry down the street.
Yeah, come on. The CDC said today that it's cool to go outside with no masks. So that's a milestone of some kind.
Yeah, I've already been lowering my mask while outside.
Yeah, I've been doing the thing where I put it up if I'm passing someone and then just take it down the rest of the time because it's too hot.
It is, yeah. Last year, during the middle of this, like when summer was coming on, that's when I realized people were going to stop wearing masks.
Yeah, yep.
It happened.
I think we're on record, actually. Said it on the show.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, come on.
But how do you feel about that, Rivers?
It's weird as far as like, big gatherings and stuff go. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. I'm not trying to go to Bonnaroo right now, but...
no, they canceled Burning Man.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's probably for the best. They should cancel that every year. It's just a bad time.
I've never been, but...
I've never been either, but
We've never been invited to Burning Man.
That's right, yeah.
So we hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody at Burning Man was going to wear a mask, but it's not like it mattered out there.
Well, they make their own stuff, so I imagine
their own COVID vaccine.
Yeah, well, I know. I imagine there would be lots of decorative masks and stuff that you could get. My mom.
That's true.
My mom has a friend who has been going to Burning Man since like the 70s, like since the original, and every year he buys like a bunch of used like old sunglasses from thrift stores and stuff, and then decorates them because there's no Burning Man. I don't know what it is now, but in its heyday, man, when it fucking mattered, there was no currency allowed, so you had to like barter for stuff. And so he just had these wacky like Elton John sunglasses that he made that he would trade for stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and now it's all tech assholes and Instagram influencers.
Hey, do you need sunglasses? I need food really bad.
I have all these sunglasses and they're decidedly inedible.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Last night I was watching Cooper put on an episode of Jay Leno's Garage, which I would never do anymore because I've seen every episode.
Oh, man.
But they have one from a guy out here in L.A. who has a vehicle he invented or created for Burning Man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because apparently you can apply for a license to build a crazy car that you can drive around.
Art cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a sort of a Alabama very moderate scale Burning Man a couple of years ago called the Do Nanny.
Damn, that's sad.
Yeah, well, there was a gigantic, and I'll put a picture of this up on our Twitter so people can see it. Instead of burning a man, they had a giant wooden vagina.
Jesus
hence the
Christ.
Doonanny. And but it was a similar concept where you were supposed to take all of the all of the things that you were ready to move on from in your life and put them inside the giant burning Doonanny.
And there wasn't a woman in sight.
No, there was a lot actually, but it's like a folk art festival, and everybody drove their weird art cars there. So yeah, I took a bunch of pictures. I don't think they do it anymore, but shout out to Butch Anthony. He was the guy who put the whole thing together. He's now got a drive-through
pussy looking thing. You can just drive through.
It's the drive-through Museum of Wonder, where he basically just finds like bones in the woods and then makes extraordinary claims about them. Jesus. So it's kind of like a folk art Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's fucking awesome. Butch Anthony's the best.
Yeah, there's in the Jay Leno episode also they go to a guy in Detroit who makes because they're just there talking about cars, and this guy is just taken like an abandoned block in a neighborhood and just started making art, quote unquote. But basically, he just takes trash that's like the same kind of trash, right? And then puts it together and paints it. He has a bunch of old not the Hot Wheels, but the cars,
power wheels.
Yeah, a bunch of those just like lined up next to each other, painted in different ways. And it's just like, oh, you've just created garbage. But you've made it nice enough that people think it's a museum. Like, like people go there and shit.
Oh man, I'll have to show you this documentary. I watched it when it first came out. It won the Oscar for the best documentary short in, I want to say, like 2006 or something like that. And it's on YouTube. It's called Thoth. Thoth, Thoth, and it's this documentary about this performance artist who basically wears a loincloth and paints himself gold and plays violin and sings in a language that he made up. And he's got bells on his shoes. It's like a complete, kind of maniac guy. And it's a fun documentary, but it's definitely that sort of thing of like, I'm doing my art, what do you think about it? Kind of a thing. And there's a lot of people just standing around. It's like it's in Central Park, so it's just New Yorkers just talking shit about him, and it's pretty funny when they keep cutting to people and they're just like, that guy ain't right, man.
What the fuck is he doing?
What the fuck is this? And meanwhile he's just in the background going, whoa, like just
performance art does get the weirdest reactions.
I mean,
that's why stand-up's fun.
I think that's the point. Yeah. Calling in now, they are the hosts of the hottest thing to come out of Indiana since the washing machine from the Violet Wanderers. It's Ian and Alexis. What's up, y'all?
Hey. Hello. Hi. Since the washing machine. Wow.
I had to look up. I was like, what was invented in Indiana? And I think math. Come on, that was invented by Hitler. No, it was
Indiana wishes they could stake claim to that.
It came down to, I was like, well, the washing machine and the gas pump were both apparently invented in Indiana, so I went with washing.
My relatives say the washing machine.
Yeah,
your relatives are all from West Virginia. That's why. That is true. The only place that's got even less, class than Indiana, West Virginia.
What part of West Virginia is your family from, Ian?
My mom was born in Charleston, and then like Elkins, that type of area.
Okay.
Near the Pennsylvania border.
Gotcha. Oh yeah. What is it? Pittsburgh Nitrous Mafia territory.
There you go.
Yes.
For
half
people,
of my relatives live in West Virginia. The other half live in Pittsburgh. So.
Gotcha.
It's a fun area.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's fun to drive, at least, going around the mountains around Charleston.
Yeah.
So I figure because one of the reasons I wanted to talk to y'all is Alexis told me that they've got a fun pissed off teacher story, so I figure we'll keep up with our recent theme and start there, and then I've got some ridiculous news stories, and y'all are gonna hang out all the way through the end of the show, so I'm very excited for this. But let's start with this.
I think that mine's the first angry teacher story that winds up with someone getting expelled.
Oh,
so there's that.
All right.
So yeah, I got expelled my senior year of high school. And I still had enough credits because this was in like early May that I got expelled. I had enough credits that I graduated anyway, but I was banned from the graduation ceremony. I was banned from school property for a year.
Well, but
Nice.
so you could then come back as a super senior and like sell cigarettes to the kids.
I guess, but well, I graduated at 17, so
Oh, okay.
you know, I graduated a year early. But so basically, the very short, well, the very short part of it is I got caught getting a blowjob on school grounds.
Hell yeah.
Basically,
So you
my senior
got
year of
kicked out
high
of
school.
school for ruling?
You ruled
we're
the
getting
school
there, trust
too
me.
hard.
That's one of the reasons the teacher got so angry. So
Because of how cool it was?
because of how cool the other students thought it was.
Wow.
I was always a
Sorry.
dweeb. I was always kind of a dweeb in high school. I was just like the role playing D&D geek, but I was also the alpha geek of my group insofar as I was the only one who had a girlfriend, and I had a girlfriend basically all through high school.
Uh-huh.
And the girl I was dating at that time was, to put it politely, a hose beast. Like she just all she wanted to do in her life was suck dick. Apparently,
Okay. Wow.
I've never before or since have somebody turn down having sex because they would rather just suck dick.
I gotta say, I'm getting all kinds of new vocabulary words. First, it was what was it, a wind up artist, and now hose beast. All right.
Yeah, hose beast. You haven't heard that one? All right.
No,
Me
that's
neither.
Yep, a hose beast is any gender can be a hose beast, but it's
Sure.
somebody who just wants to suck on dick, and that's what they want to do.
Hey,
Usually
you know.
paired with psycho. So
Now-
psycho hose beast.
At this time, I was like 17, and one day, me and my girlfriend were hanging out, and we were going to the part of the school was under construction, and there was a hallway that was going to be demolished over the summer, but hadn't been yet. And no classes were down there. Nobody was down there. It was just this empty ass hallway.
Uh-huh.
And she was just basically like, "Hey, you know, I could blow you here, and no one would find us." I was like,
And you were like, oh well, I do love The Shining.
"Well, what it was more was I was at least a little more cautious. I was like, but what if we, I was like, we could still get caught. There are, people around." And she's like, "Well, that's what makes it so fun." Is that little risk there. And to her credit, we got away with it every day after school for 3 months.
And did it make it more fun?
I guess for her, I mean, I was a 17-year-old getting 5 BJs a week. I mean, I don't know how much more fun I could have at that point.
Yeah.
But apparently, the very, very religious home ec teacher one day spied us going down this hallway and was suspicious because, two teenagers, guy and girl going down to an abandoned hallway, you're going to be suspicious. And she caught us right in the act. And
But she didn't bust you for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So she let it. She let it happen. She could have just gone down there and been like, "What are you kids doing?"
I know, but no.
She's like, this is so much more interesting than watching kids make lasagna.
I don't know if it's just it took her a little while to like convince herself to go down there if she got caught up, but basically, yeah, she caught us mid act, and so she starts, she yells at us a bit and starts marching us up to the principal's office.
What did she say?
I mean, you've got to remember, I was very like freaked out because, my parents were going to find out, this girl's parents were going to find out, etc. So I don't remember precisely what she said in the beginning part where she first caught us.
Your dick is in her mouth.
But what I do remember is as she started like walking us up to the principal's office, she like gave me this look and said, "You don't walk near her," and like pulled my girlfriend away like I was some sort of rapist.
Jeez.
So you're like,
and
no.
she was like sitting there quietly talking to my girlfriend, at the time, like basically like she was some sort of trauma survivor. And I don't know if this lady was just so Christian that the idea of a blowjob was just such degeneracy that it had broken her brain or what, but she was just furious at the concept of it.
Yeah.
She didn't know about Hobie. She probably was just like, this guy has coerced this poor God-loving woman.
Right.
Probably.
She doesn't even know what she's doing.
Yeah. No wonder she's failing my class.
Why does she keep trying to suck on the freaking turkey baster? I don't get it. That's not what that's for.
No, it's for procreation.
No,
Look, we got to turn this woman from a hose beast into a home ec beast. You know what I'm saying?
so obviously I get expelled.
She was working with multiple batters.
Baking a baby cake.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously I get expelled. She gets expelled. But I found out later from some friends. So, at the end of high school, they always like the school spirit squad always has like cheesy posters and stuff like that.
Sure.
Well, the theme this year was apparently remember when. And so they had, remember when Mr. Robbins, the speech teacher, came to school dressed up as a clown, all written on a poster or something. Somebody brought in some wit. To this day, I don't know who, brought in a piece of poster board and wrote, remember when, now they dead named me, I'm just going to use my own name, but it was basically, remember when Alexis wasn't the coolest kid in the entire school? And they put up 4 or 5 of these in the main hallways. And apparently this home ec teacher that caught me like rampaged through the school, tearing them down, like hunting for them, and was like threatening whoever had put them up was going to, face the wrath of the administration and shit. She was just freaking out about it.
So they thought it was you, clearly.
Yes, I snuck back into the school. Ninja style. Got through the lasers like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
I think that's the only way you could diminish your legend status at that point is if you were the one who put up the posters, then you would go from the coolest kid in school to like, oh man. But the fact that someone else was spreading your gospel, that is
I had people,
that's awesome.
That whole summer, I had dudes who had bullied me since like middle school coming up and being like, hey man, you're cool as shit. You know that? And I guess like my one super dedicated bully, because every bullied kid has the one bully, had tried to tell everyone that it was a dude blowing me because, ooh, gay, which honestly, as queer as I am now, it's kind of a funny thing, but apparently even he got shut down and everyone was like, nah, we know what happened. Alexis is cool as shit. Alexis was getting blown in the school. And the sad part is I could probably still coast on that story if I lived in that town, because I know
That's
people
your Al Bundy story.
Well, I know people who went to that
5 blowjobs a day.
A decade later.
You ran into that guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
That was like, hey man, and you're like, I have no idea who that fucking guy was.
But no, there were people who went to my high school a decade after I graduated, and it became sort of did you hear about before the school got renovated, that kid that got blown here? Like, it turned into a whole fucking thing.
They named the new building after you.
Well, your last name, your working last name is Filth, so I suppose that works. The Filth Wing.
Yes. The Filth building.
Tell about the sad what you found out about said girlfriend afterwards, her family life.
Oh, honey, I'm not going to bring that shit up. I will say that her dad did threaten me in the Kroger parking lot with a shotgun about 6 weeks after this incident.
Okay, well, let's focus on that.
It was really literally just he was coming out with groceries or whatever, and I was putting carts away because I worked at Kroger, and he like got into his truck and had the shotgun on the rack, lifted it off the rack and looked at me, and then set it back down and drove off like, I'm watching you, boy.
Wow. Well, that pretty much tells us everything we need to know about the home life. I would assume that pretty much we can all imagine.
And it was at the time it was a very mortifying experience. Like when you're a teenager, you're super awkward about sex, so on and so forth. And I had all the like religious upbringing on top of that. So like I didn't start seeing the humor in this whole situation until years later. Like that summer when people were coming up and complimenting me, I was literally like wanting to crawl into a shell and die because I was mortified that anyone knew anything about the fact that I had a sex life at all, because I was still just freshly out of good little Christian school.
Right.
So
it's also crazy that they think that is like the coolest thing that could happen to anybody.
I mean, when you're in a rural Midwestern area where the most exciting thing that might happen is like 20 or 30 people, underage kids might go get like drunk off Pabst Blue Ribbon in a fucking barn somewhere on somebody's property because they got an older brother who can buy booze. Like
Casey's opens near you.
The big thing in this town here recently last summer was a Casey's gas station opened up. Ooh,
because they got like actually decent fucking food.
That was the talk of the town for like months. It's I guess that's somehow just incredibly cool that someone would be at school and have get blown. I suppose.
I mean,
I got kicked out of a Catholic church one time for making out in the confessional booth, but nothing at school.
I was gonna say, nice try,
with the priest, or
it was a priest.
Oh, really?
I wasn't making out with the priest, but
no, that okay, gotcha.
I was making out with my boyfriend and drinking holy water, and they didn't.
Whoa! Not even the sacrament, just the holy water.
Did they catch you through the screen, or did they just open the door?
No, we were like in the confessional booth, like making out, and the priest, was like making his rounds, and he heard shit going on, and like he came in and my hand was down his pants and shit, and so he's like, "You need to leave," and like crossed himself.
Well, Ian, I'll ask you the same question. I've been asking everybody, which is, what is the most pissed off that you've ever seen a teacher get, or that you've ever made a teacher get?
Oh, you're gonna have to edit this one because I don't really have any good like teacher stories, because I was a decent student up until like high school, when I started slacking off and not really giving a fuck. But I was always like a really good student, and like I was the annoying kid that would remind your teacher that there was homework.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian was a little suck up.
Yeah, I was. I was always the teacher's pet. I had weird shit go on in school. Like I took my finals in 12th grade on acid. And
wow, so you went wild quickly then.
Yeah, so I got an A in creative writing that year, but I had to repeat my like AP history course, because the question was, how were the Romans practical, and give examples. And so I was trying to bullshit, because I was like, practicality is not a word in my vocabulary right now, because I was peaking at the time of that class. And so I was just like bullshitting some shit about aqueducts, and like I think I got like 3 paragraphs of my final essay, and it was like F. And I was like, God damn it. So I had to like retake that in summer school, but I don't really have any like teachers angry at me stories, just more me fucking off in school stories.
What about angry at anyone else? Like, were you witnessed any freakouts?
I don't know. It's been 30 something years since I've been in high school.
Fair enough.
Since I've been in high school, let alone any other school. So, because I'm old as fuck. I graduated in 93.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I do remember when our vice principal in middle school freaked out and tried to beat up this kid, and the kid kicked his ass.
Oh, yes.
This guy's name was Andy. Last name started with a B. I can't remember it, but he was an asshole. But I think he was held back a year too. But our school was weird. We had place we had the 7th grade building. All the 7th graders had their own building, which was like the old high school, and it was just janky.
Yeah.
And 8th and 9th graders were all together in the middle school, and then the high school had 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And so this was when I was in like 9th grade. This kid Andy like told the vice principal, because the vice principal was just like going through the locker area and was like, "Get out of my way," because he was just one of those asshole aggro guys.
Yeah.
And Andy, being a dipshit 14-year-old, was like, "Fuck you, man." And so this vice principal was like an ex-cop. He was like a retired cop, and just one of those like, "How dare you question my authority" types.
All right.
And he tried to he grabbed the guy and slammed him up against the lockers, but This dude was one of those people who got really big really fast. Like he was probably 6'2", 300 pounds in ninth grade.
You love the ninth grader with the mustache and the motorcycle, and you're just like,
exactly.
wow.
That was him.
Yeah.
And so this like 60-year-old, ex-cop asshole vice principal slams him up against the lockers. What'd you say to me, you little punk? And my locker, it's my last name. It starts with a D, so I was kind of in the same row. It wasn't a big high school. So I got to watch him grab the frickin' vice principal and slam him all the way across the aisle into the other locker like 3 or 4 times before some other teachers came and pulled him off of him.
Holy shit.
That's so awesome. It's good when a fucking 60-year-old gets alphaed by a fucking 15-year-old because he thinks he's still tough. It's like, bro, these are hyenas.
Oh, man.
Our claim to fame, it was like, I think the year after I left the middle school, so when I was in 10th grade, was our middle school had the most pregnancies per capita in the nation.
Jesus.
And then Alexis moved to blowjobs.
I was about to say, yeah, so you weren't alone in that hallway.
No, there was a line.
Apparently. Yeah.
Well, that's why she didn't want to have sex. She didn't want to be add to those statistics.
Yeah, yeah, that's
there
true.
You go.
Yeah, she's practical like the Romans.
Actually, I think the only time I can remember like a teacher or somebody getting pissed, and I don't remember the outcome, but when I was a junior, the senior prank that came about was a pretty good one. Okay, so I went to high school in Albuquerque, and
don't bunny trail.
I'm not bunny trailing.
Okay,
but in each of the hallways, they had you got your Rosa locker, because there was I'm sure you guys have similar things in California where like some of your hallways are open to the air.
Oh,
and it's not completely enclosed.
I was going to say we're from Alabama and Texas, but
I know, but I didn't know if you'd seen it.
I haven't been checking out the layouts of schools. I swear
that's probably a good thing.
I'm childless. I have no business there.
So, anyways, they have like these like atrium hallways, and in the middle they had these big like concrete like circles, probably about 9 to 12 feet around for people to like hang out on, or whatever, tie their shoes,
like a bench, basically.
Yes, but they were big and round, and there was like 3 in each hallway. And they were about 2 feet, 3 feet off the ground, and about like 9 to 12 feet around.
Okay.
So the seniors that year apparently constructed some ramps up one and parked the principal's VW Bug on it, pulled the ramps away and left.
Okay, that rules.
Damn. Yeah.
So that was the senior prank the year that I was a junior.
Our senior prank was really lame in comparison. The 4-H kids just let their goats in the freaking school after hours.
Yeah, that's what the fucking lame redneck wannabes of my high school would do.
Our lame redneck wannabes at least got the goats on the roof, so that was it's kind of a combo there.
Why is it always goats?
Okay, I think
sometimes it's a pig.
Yeah, or a pig. yeah, classic. Yeah, I think that's just what people have easy access to. My plan, and apparently you can't really do this without you can't just buy this, but I was thinking it'd be funny to do a senior prank where you planted a bunch of kudzu everywhere.
Oh.
So it wouldn't be funny right away, but 15 years later, when they were trying to cut the buildings out of the jungle that sprouted, but apparently you can't just buy kudzu seeds because it's a highly invasive plant. So
welcome to the Ruins High School.
Yeah, exactly. Well, y'all, I figure we would cover a couple of fun news stories with you and just get your opinion on these. This one is going to this is a recurring theme of this show, and a lot of people sent this to me when it happened, so we got to share this one. This is from New Hampshire. Neighborhoods in several different southern New Hampshire towns were rocked by a mysterious explosion last Tuesday night. Kingston police say the blast was caused by a family using explosives to reveal the gender of their baby. So we've got
Right.
another gender reveal explosion. And y'all have kids. I don't know how did you tell your friends? Was it about that you were having a baby? Was it with explosives?
No, and actually, about a year ago, we had Jay Light on our show, and the name of that show is Gender Reveal Apocalypse, and it's because there's a sketch on it where we went through like various news reports that I had written up as a sketch, and the last one is that somebody sent the sun into a pink supernova. And so like the CNN anchor is talking about, may God have mercy on us all in this dark time. And then congratulations to Bill and Karen for having a girl. But they start weird and then they escalate. And I think the one before that was like a nuclear explosion that was tinted blue or something.
Yeah.
And somebody poisoned the water supply with PCP that turned people's vision a color. Like, so like, I'm very familiar with these kinds of stories. No,
When
I think it was a Facebook post at most.
Oh, so a normal thing.
Yeah, with Zinnia, we were at like Lowe's or something, and when we found out that she was a girl, or that she had a vagina, I got like a pink paint chip card, and I just wrote "It's a girl" on it, and like took a picture of that. And,
Nice. It bust out the
like
swatches.
a normal fucking human.
Like a sane human being.
Yeah, that's great. So Police Chief Donald Briggs said the blast happened at Torromeo Industries on Dory Road around 7 p.m. Kingston residents say it was like nothing they'd ever heard before. Quote, "It was absolutely earth-shaking," said a neighbor. Sarah Taglieri and her husband Matt live in a home that abuts the Tormeo Quarry. Some claim that it was an earthquake, but that's not the case. Our team of meteorologists said there were no earthquakes reported around that time.
Jesus
So
Christ.
they did this at a rock quarry. Like they essentially, I have to imagine they must work for them or something, and they just exploded this in a rock quarry, but it freaked everyone the fuck out.
Weird thing about New Hampshire, though, in some of the areas, my parents used to live in New Hampshire, and it's all very picturesque in the wooded areas because they have buried lines. Like you never see a phone pole or an electric pole. All of their utilities are buried underground.
Well, I guess it's a good thing they did do it in a quarry, because otherwise they would have like ruptured a gas main or something.
Yeah, it took me a second when we were visiting. I was like, what looks weird here? Because, you're driving through like what looks like, Maine in like in New England, all the like classic, woods and like you've seen Stephen King movies, but there's no power lines anywhere because they've buried them all to preserve the picturesqueness of New Hampshire.
That's
well,
awesome.
I can't imagine this rock quarry was terribly picturesque to begin with, much less after
some of them are
the
pretty.
blue explosion, powdered the entire countryside or whatever the fuck. There was a story a couple years ago where a lady died from one of the
they killed grandma
Tannerite explosions,
they killed grandma with a pipe bomb. Yeah, like they accidentally made a pipe bomb and it killed the grandma. It caused a plane crash. Somebody was trying to write "It's a Girl in the Sky" or whatever, and they crashed the plane. Like these things are just absolute disasters.
Like, nobody cares what's between your babies.
Yeah, I was gonna say the great
self-centered freaks.
I want every single child of those like parents that went way over the top with gender reveal to turn out trans.
Yeah,
right.
Just so it can be like, oh yeah, it's a girl. No, it ain't, Daddy. Sorry, fuck you.
Sorry, we burned down San Bernardino for nothing.
At one point,
Exactly.
it was just tradition to give out like a cheap cigar that had like "It's a boy" or "It's a girl" on it. And at least you got something out of finding out the gender of their child.
Right, or it was the thing where it was like the cake had like white or brown icing on it, and then you cut it, and the inside was either blue or pink. Like, there's so many non-lethal ways to do this if you're really serious about, this thing. It's like, I don't know.
What we always... Seriously, in the trans community, we joke about the gender reveal parties because it's just the cis people being obsessed with what sex organ an unborn baby has.
Right, exactly.
It's just anytime a story like that comes across, my entire feed is full of trans girls going, "Are the cis okay?"
Well, and it's
like
also
75 years ago, the colors were reversed anyways. Blue was for girls and pink was for boys.
Yes, because pink was related to red, which was like blood and manly and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It was a muted version of the war color.
Kingston police confirm it was a gender reveal using explosives. Quote, Are you kidding me? Said Tagleri. I'm all up for silliness and whatnot, but this was extreme.
Extreme silliness.
I'm a big fan of what you might call the shenanigans around here, but I think this has gone a little too far.
I just love the confused neighbor. Like, no, I like fun just as much as everyone else, but there is a line, and they have crossed it. So authorities are still investigating, but believe the people involved used an explosive called tannerite and had permission to be on the property. So apparently, this guy had to have worked at the rock quarry for them to just be like, yeah, come on in and set it off, whatever.
It's always tannerite with these fucks. They can just go down to the freaking Rural King and get some.
Yep. Quote, it cracked the foundation of our neighbor's house, Tagleri said. I don't know how that's right. It's like, it's not.
Well, you were saving for college. Now you get to pay off your neighbor's house. Congratulations.
Well, this is just the bystander. They haven't caught the people who did it yet. This is just the guy just being like, what the hell happened? So this is his wife. Quote, it was ridiculous. I don't have any other words for it. Chief Briggs said investigators are looking into possible property damage and there could be charges in the case. We reached out to Torromeo Industries but haven't heard back yet. So the rock quarry is just like, yeah, they're doing what they should do. Like, we don't know shit.
Yep. Some foreman somewhere is just like, Jim, I know I told you could come down here and party,
but I did not say.
You have messed up a little. Just, do you understand how much trouble I'm about to be in? If they find out that it was you keep your goddamn mouth shut, Jim.
And now the bus-eating sized catfish is dyed pink. Way to go, Jim.
You told me it was going to be one Folgers can full of tannerite. You didn't tell me you were building a truck bomb.
And that child's name was Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do they even say the gender?
No, because they don't know who did it yet. They're just like,
wasn't blue or pink enough that we could tell.
Well, I guess they set it off inside the rock quarries. I don't know if people saw the explosion. They just were sitting in their house, and then all of a sudden their house was like shifted off the bricks it was sitting on. So.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think, like, if you were going to do something extreme for a gender reveal, what's the craziest thing you could do that wouldn't set off a fire? You know, I was trying to think.
I don't know why they always go with explosions.
Yeah, I honestly think it's because it looks cool on Instagram. You know, I think that's the.
I would say maybe like go to a reservoir
Fireworks.
or something. That might start a fire. Go to a reservoir or something. Buy a 55-gallon drum of like Red 40.
Yeah, there we go.
Or Lake Blue 5 or whatever the fuck, and just quietly when nobody's noticing, you just dump it all in the fucking reservoir, and it turns like 3 square miles blue or pink.
like the Indy Canal on St. Patrick's Day where they dye it
green.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
like it's food safe dye. You can do that.
Oh man, that's the gender reveal explosion of the week. Thank you for everyone who sent that to me. I think we had 3 different people send that one to me, so had to cover that guy.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. I also found this is a fun one from Coral Springs, Florida. Coral Springs police say they were initially searching for a shooter Wednesday morning after a shooting was reported at the home in the area of Northwest 108th Way off Coral Springs Drive, blah, blah, blah. Skyton was above the scene around 7:45, and there was heavy police presence in the area, but police said they later discovered that a victim had accidentally shot themselves in the leg and lied about it. So,
of course.
Classic. I love that.
That's such an embarrassing thing to admit that you can't fucking use a holster or whatever the fuck.
It's always the same thing. It's, now look, I was cleaning my gun. I only had like one beer.
Yeah, I
had to clean my gun because it was dirty. And what they mean is I was drunk and wanted to be like, hey guys, check this out. Yep. You know how they do that spin thing in the Western movies? I've been practicing.
100%. It's always that. The only people who ever like shoot themselves while they're cleaning the gun is people who shoot themselves in the hand, where you clean the gun. If the injury is,
if you're just how do you clean your gun with a bullet in the chamber?
Right.
That doesn't even make fucking sense.
Yeah, I own half a dozen guns, and I have never once, not once, been cleaning my gun and gone, oh my lands, there's a bullet in here.
Right.
How did that show up?
Yeah, if it's a semi-auto, sure, there's always one in the chamber, but if you're sober, you go and then it comes out. But
Slightly related, the best thing that I have seen come out of Florida this week. I have a lot of downtime at work, so I just sit on the internet a lot.
oh yeah,
I read it was either yesterday or today. Some guy got arrested for he was driving through like McDonald's or Burger King drive-through. He was arrested with aggravated assault for throwing an alligator through the drive-through window at the employees.
Okay, I assume it was a juvenile alligator.
I assume so.
That would be amazing if it was somehow just he's fucking like the strongest man in the world. It's Mark Henry, just the fucking lunges a full
alligator.
That's made more impressive by the fact that all the drive-thrus have the COVID spittle guard over the thing now. So that's a pretty.
This is no longer Waffle House. This is the House of Pain.
We recently had a guy near us who was threatening. The cops got called because he was threatening people with a mouse trap.
Yes,
on the street.
That's right. Yeah, that came up in our Citizen app, which I loathe to say that I don't think they have the Citizen app in rural Indiana, but
no, we have Nextdoor.
Oh yeah. Oh, Nextdoor is like the Citizen app, but it's fully detailed and it's always
Nextdoor is just Facebook for racists.
Yes, 100%.
Like even it's for the people who are so racist that all their Facebook friends have blocked them.
Right.
So now they just sit on Nextdoor and go, I saw one of them blacks walking on the sidewalk. I'll bet he's up to no good.
Oh, my favorite one
says he's selling magazines.
I've mentioned this.
Out.
I've mentioned this on the show before, but my favorite one I ever saw was it said that they were on Nextdoor. It was like, there's a Spanish man digging through our dumpsters. And I was like, oh, is he Castilian? Like, how do you know he's Spanish? Like, it was fantastic. And I just did imagine
Monte Cristo is out back.
He was wearing a Barcelona jersey, so
Right. No, he was a bullfighter. He's in the full matador outfit and he's got a red cape and shit, and so there's a Spanish man. But yeah, Sam alerted me to the fact that so someone's out there with a mouse trap, and we're wondering about the logistics of how you threaten someone with a mouse trap.
I don't know. This fucker's kind of hurt. When I was a kid, I was walking.
Kind of hurt. Exactly.
That's the thing. It is
kind of hurt.
It is.
I was walking through the supermarket as a kid, and you know how they always have like the little strings of plastic things with like in the middle of the aisles with like straws or like garbage disposal, like scent things. Well, this one aisle had like mouse traps on it. So I'm just like walking along, running my hands along the shelf.
Somebody fucking sent one.
Somebody sent one, and it clipped down onto my like 6-year-old finger.
Oh,
I remember it being painful. I don't remember it because it's been 40
all
years,
you're making me think of with threatening someone with a mousetrap is that one Jackass stunt where they throw all the mousetraps at people.
Or they go through the obstacle course that's mousetraps and live tasers.
And the one sticks on his dick, doesn't it?
Johnny. I think Johnny gets the perfect shot and snaps one on the end of his dick. Yes.
Yeah.
But other than that, other than like hurling it loaded at people, or not even hurling it, just kind of like gently tossing it towards them to see if you can get it to. I don't know how else you threaten someone with a mousetrap. Dude shooting himself in the leg, like out here in the rural Midwest, we call that Tuesday.
Right.
Oh, it's Tuesday. Cooter done shot himself again.
Right.
But it's drunk idiots either showing off with their guns, because that's the other thing. I was cleaning it is code for I was playing with it.
100%. Yeah, I have a friend who shot himself. A guy I used to work at the radio station with. Came in one day and he had a big ass bandage on his like calf. I was like, oh man, and he was kind of limping. I was like, oh, are you all right? What happened? He's like, I was cleaning my gun. Just shot myself in the fucking calf. I was like, oh yeah, that's usually I clean a gun at a table where my calf is under the table. So that's pretty wild that the gun somehow pointed directly down and the bullet went through the table and into your calf. That's also a weird way to clean a gun.
The first thing they teach you in gun safety, don't point the gun at anything you don't intend to shoot.
Anything you do not wish to destroy. Yep. But it's just some guys can't keep their hands off their guns.
Pseudo penises.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to read this story though really was just for the last paragraph. So the person lied about getting themselves shot, and then police say in a separate incident also reported in the area there was an attempted abduction, but that incident turned out to be a girl who stole her sister's car and also lied about it. So Coral Gables, man, y'all got 10 Pinocchios from this PolitiFact correspondent.
She was going to go see her boyfriend, and then she heard he got shot, and she was just so worried she had to get that car.
Oh man.
Oh. Florida man.
Yeah, well, and I honestly like to include international stories just so as Americans we don't feel so bad about being dumbasses. And I got one last one. This is from China, from Times News Now. A gentleman scheduled to fly on a Guangxi Gulf Airlines flight from Weifang to Haikou, China, was detained when staff was alerted to the fact that he had tossed coins into the plane's engine for good luck.
Wow.
Are there koi?
Yes, like it's a fucking fountain in front of the post office. Like
Are the Chinese planes powered by goldfish?
Fortunately, runway workers noticed the coins on the tarmac under the plane's engine before it took off. The staff managed to recover all the coins, but the flight had to be canceled due to safety concerns. All 148 passengers were forced to deboard and wait for another plane until the next morning. Following the incident, the man was detained by police, and this isn't the first time that someone has thrown coins into a plane's engines in China. Last year, a 28-year-old superstitious passenger threw coins at a plane's engine for good luck, and he was ordered to pay a fine of about $3,000 American to the budget airline Lucky Air.
Wow.
Just like, you're already on the Lucky Air. Just fucking get on the plane and stop throwing coins.
That there's a lot to unpack in that sentence. Budget Air, $3,000.
Could they not use a paper note? Is it only lucky if it's metal currency? Like at least then the engine just chops it up.
Right. That's what I was thinking. As I was like, I wouldn't do this, but I would be pissed if I had to get off the plane for someone to do this, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see it, Like just what would happen tossing a bunch of coins into an airplane, a jet engine?
Nothing. I bet it would just break.
Yeah, it just seems like it would
say a loud belching fire and a clattering noise.
Yeah.
I don't think
if you really want to recreate the experience, throw a bunch of coins into the fan in the front of your car.
Yeah, okay.
Radiator fan.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do this, but I'll pay to watch it,
How do they in America you can't even get close to the engine?
Yeah. I think this is probably a situation where they were probably walking up
a stairs,
like the Beatles or something, like it was on the tarmac as opposed to
instead of having the connecting
the jet
hallway or something like that.
Right.
I'd say it'd be a little puddle hopper, but with 140 something passengers now.
Yeah,
it's not a fucking Cessna, no.
Yeah, this is probably, you have to imagine this is why they invented the jetway and the terminal and all that. Like I feel like this.
Yeah, people can't be trusted to be on the tarmac in America.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly, 100%. Yeah, because
that's where all the spy movie shit goes on. People chasing the baggage cars and everything. It all occurs on the tarmac. So no, nobody can be trusted on the tarmac.
Yeah.
I just think that it's just with especially with Americans that we just can't not fuck with things.
Yeah,
where it would you can just see
manifest destiny.
No, I'm saying you can just see some fucking middle-aged guy who owns a used car dealership just being like, I just want to see how that big engine works, and he climbs up in there and then gets his head fucking sucked into it.
Yeah, definitely.
We can't leave shit alone.
It's right there.
All the people who fall into or climb into animal enclosures at the zoo.
Yes.
Because they're just like, I just wanted to see the monkey. And it's like, that monkey is strong enough to rip your arm off and beat you to death with it, you fucking idiot.
And he hates
leaning more and more backwards over the Grand Canyon.
Right. And the monkey hates being there too. So
yeah.
What did you think?
Americans just cannot leave well enough alone. We are incapable of it as a society.
Yeah. I'm very pro animal as far as whenever anybody gets fucked up by an animal that they shouldn't be fucking touching.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's consequences, really.
I'm kind of waiting for the quokkas to revolt. They're like, we've been biding our time and taking
We've taken all your shit.
Yeah, we've taken all your pictures on Instagram, but now we revolt because that would be the cutest assassination ever.
Just swarmed to death by quokkas
as they
smiling the whole time.
Yep.
It's been too long since a good cassowary attack. I need more of those YouTube videos.
Dude, those things are vicious.
That's the scariest shit in the world. It's like a fucking just a live. It's a bird, but it's basically a velociraptor.
I was gonna say it's a feathery raptor.
Yeah, it's got these like gnarly ass claws, and then under its wings, it's got spikes and shit. There was a good, speaking of Jackass, a good episode of Wild Boys where they start fucking with a cassowary, and then very quickly are like, and have to like run away from it as it like tries to tear Chris Pontius's guts out with its fucking talons and shit.
Oh yeah, no, they're one of those nature's do not enter signs. Like,
yeah. Well, Ian, Alexis, Sam, are y'all ready for our jam of the day?
Jam of the motherfucking day.
All right.
And that is Lynyrd Skynyrd with their song That Smell.
Oh. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell, that's the part of the song is when you got Cassie Gaines and all the girls going, hell yeah. And I have not... Lynyrd Skynyrd is a third rail that I have not touched until today because I love Lynyrd Skynyrd and I don't want to perpetuate stereotypes about Skynyrd fans, but I just happened to be legitimately listening to this song and I couldn't help myself. I scrolled down and the first one grabbed me. I was like, oh my God. And it was just a fucking avalanche of insanity on this one.
Yes, it is all like people in recovery.
Yes.
I grew up with this song and I never knew that because Alexis, I jumped in the shower and Alexis was like, yeah, the jam of the day is That Smell. And I was like, ooh, That Smell. I never knew that it was a Lynyrd Skynyrd song. I knew the song.
Yeah. Well,
I heard it for the first time about a half hour before we started recording because Rivers told me it was
That's so wild because this used to come on classic rock radio all the time. I feel like if I don't
you forget raised religious.
Yeah, but you
not allowed to listen to secular music.
Were you guys not listening to the exact same radio station as Rivers?
Well, no, just any classic rock station. Well, I was going to say, you said you were raised religious, but did you ever eat at Joe's Crab Shack or,
No, that's way too high class for my family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never been there either.
All right, well.
Oh, yeah, and it's fish. The only fish my parents ever eat are the fish sticks that come out of the freezer section. So
not even the fillets.
Damn.
Fair enough. Well, this song, by the way, this is on their last album, Street Survivors. They most of the band died about 2 months after they recorded this song in a plane crash, and the song itself is kind of they're kind of subtweeting Gary Rosington a little bit because he had bought a brand new car and crashed it into a tree. So the first line is brand new cars, oak tree, you're in my way. So that's kind of about him. And then supposedly the plane that they crashed, hit an oak tree when it it kind of spread apart. But apparently it was a gum tree. I did look that up. So, but nonetheless, the chorus of this song is the smell of death surrounds you. But it seems like most people on here just kind of think it's about farts. So.
I never knew that it was the smell of death surrounds you when I was reading the lyrics. I was like, I always thought it was, ooh, that smell, the smell that's around you.
I did too for a long time. Yeah, until I started collecting records and I actually got a hold of the lyric sheet for Street Survivors. I thought the same thing. But yeah, so this is Lynyrd Skynyrd, That Smell. Let's get down into these comments here. First up, Rick Jetter, PhD, from 6 months ago. I used to drink my own smell, but now I have my sense of smell back. Sobriety feels good.
I used to drink so much I couldn't smell nothing.
I'm just very confused by I used to drink my own smell. It's like, ugh, whatever that means, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
And he's just licking his own armpit.
Yeah. Nothing better than your own cologne fragrance, Drink it up.
Jesus Christ.
Carlene Russo from 7 months ago. I can't wait to move and live how I want. My house will not smell. So
that's sad.
that just
And
means
if you would like to join Carly, she sells Scentsy. Just hit her up with that MLM experience on Facebook. I've talked to her for 20 years since high school, but has she got a deal for you?
See, I think Carlene is 17 and is just like, lives in a hell of cats with her mom, and it just can't wait to get out.
Definitely.
Derry Dylanger from 7 months ago. I'm having a damn good time dancing with the monkey on my back. In fact, he's pumping his fist up and down while I crank this out.
Those are those guys.
Wait, read that again without the voice.
Derry Dylanger from 7 months ago. I'm having a damn good time dancing with that monkey on my back. In fact, he's pumping his fist up and down while I crank this out.
So yeah, this guy's on fucking crack.
Yeah. Well, there's a reference in the lyrics too, like, you got a monkey on your back. So I guess that's what the reference is. But he's like, I love it.
Yeah. I love my addiction.
Like, the song is very directly like, this is going to lead to your death. And he's just like, fuck it, I love it.
This song's about weed, right?
No, what a lot of the thing, because I looked through the comments section too, a lot of these are the people that would go to like 12-step meetings just to brag about their drug stories.
Treat it like an open mic shit.
Yep.
Basically, just be like, yeah, I remember this one time I shot like 3 grams of freaking China White all at once. Like, just bragging about how much shit they've done. Just that kind of drug guy. I've known several just from various places in my life, and it is unfortunate because all they want to talk about is how many drugs they've done, how fucked up they got, how bad it was. And it's like this like Vietnam vet trying to tell you like war stories about the massacres that he's committed or some shit.
Absolutely. They have
fucked up.
They have worse secrets than what they're telling you every single time.
Jennifer DeLay from 8 months ago. I'm enjoying a good whiskey right now. Drunk off my ass. Yahoo! My black cat is female and she pee on my blanket. Oops. I know she done it because she ran.
Since Carter is not here, I'm going to summon him again and just say, her pee on my blanket.
And she pee on my blanket. And I love that it's like, presumably this person is just sitting there. It's like, I knew she did it. You know how? She ran away. Like there was someone else. There is no one else in this room. It is just this person and their cat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This lady wet herself and is trying to blame it on the cat to the internet.
This is just.
I'm so drunk I pissed my own pants. Oh shit, I can't say that. I know my cat did it.
Yeah, the good thing about a YouTube comment, it's like social media, but you don't expect any return on it.
Right.
So, you probably never tweet that, but
it's a message in a bottle, frankly. It is a message in a bottle, and sometimes I don't find it until 10 years after it was written. But
YouTube comments really are just like the sink filter of the internet. Mm-hmm. They are really just that frickin' drain clogged with the hair of just the lowest of the low of common denominator comments.
Emmanuel Fiolakis from 5 days ago. Beautiful babe was on Vodafone from another country, and as I give her the Cosmotel that was being used abroad, and as Vodafone was the connection after Cosmotel, and now, after 20 years down the line with the Greek company that has made again Cosmotel, do you smell that gas around you?
What the fuck were those words? Like,
That was very clearly English as a second or third language, and he had confused this YouTube comment section with the customer service reps for a international phone card.
Yeah, I think that was happening, but then the ending was very ominous where he's like, do you smell the gas around you? Like somebody hit a gas line in his apartment and he's just over there ranting about his
He's going
phones.
to go down to the phone place and burn down the fucking building. That's what it sounds like to me.
Cosmotel, you not give me phone call with beautiful lady. Cosmotel, I burn down your building.
I buy phone card for 5 hours. Only work 20 minutes. Megan Cody from 2 weeks ago. I have to dedicate this song, well, just the chorus bit, LOL, to my snobby Ethiopian neighbors that cook stinky onions frequently. I think they must like having Dutch ovens at bedtime.
Motherfucker, Ethiopian food is wonderful.
I was gonna say.
Oh my god, fuck you. Ethiopian food is great.
That's like you could just tell they don't eat vegetables by the
Right.
stinky
Yeah,
onions.
those are the people who are like,
you eat
"Nah, I
onion?
don't eat no salads. That's
Ugh.
what food eats.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
Vegetables? I'm 45 years old. I don't eat vegetables. Ugh.
Certainly not one with spices.
Yeah, seriously. Those are the people that frickin' eat well-done steaks with ketchup on them. And,
what is Nider Kibe?
I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to
That's the
expect
spi-
most
that's the
people to
spiced
know.
butter.
I know. Most people aren't going to know what Nider Kibbeh is.
Yeah.
But to just be like, ew, onion.
Yeah.
Like, what the? Have you never had a Philly cheesesteak, man?
Don't get her started on the kit though.
Also,
The
anytime
raw beef.
anybody smells sauteing onions, they're usually like, "Ooh, that smells good."
Right.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, sauteed onions is one of the best smells there is.
I bet you it's the lentil and onion thing that they're making
Which
with the
one?
super caramelized onions.
Oh no, that's
Super.
That's
Is there
Mujadara.
a level of caramelized beyond caramelized?
Just black onions, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the amount. It's just this giant thing of caramelized onions that you mix in with
That's
the stuff.
Mujadara. That's Middle Eastern, not
Oh,
Ethiopian.
my bad.
Oh,
Oh well.
all the same, give it to me. Jay Stone from 3 weeks ago. James Jones stoked my phone and hit me threading to beat me up. Now Ron Blue Eyes, he's somehow running this phone. I'm pressing charges. I'm done with people fucking with me. Both working for U.S. Marshals. They switched my phones out behind my back, and I know where they both live. Can I get some help, please?
This is the
I-
Vodafone.
I
guy
am
again.
sick
I
and
su-
tired
I
of being
suggest he
abused on the
contacts
phone.
Cosmotel.
What is it with the phones in this song? The song has nothing
This
to do with
dude,
the phone.
this dude apparently thinks that the U.S. Marshals have swapped his phones behind his back. So I imagine that he is tuning into this song with the radio that is currently
his
residing in
tooth.
his teeth. Yes.
He
Yeah,
needs to be more concerned about his teeth frequencies.
I really do think he's just listening to it on the phone, and someone keeps texting him, and he's like, "It's the U.S. Marshals. I just know it." Like he didn't give his name out to win a contest to win a free Subway sandwich or something, and that's why he's getting spammed. It's like, no, it must be the government.
Yep. I wasn't there on January 6th, and you can't prove it because I deleted those selfies.
I got two uncle ones. First up, Jojo Luciano from 1 month ago. My uncle stuck a needle in his arm. That cocaine smell. ... I still have to shit.
Damn. His uncle shot up so much coke that he had to shit. That's a lot
No,
of coke.
it's his uncle was hogging the bathroom, man. You know, fucking cokeheads stay in the fucking bathroom. He's he's standing out there knocking on the door. He's like, Uncle Ouch, let me in. Uncle Ouch is over there. Like, I still got another 8-ball to shoot up in my arm, boy. I don't care. I got a shit.
You're probably right. That's probably exactly what that is. That's
goodness.
hilarious. I was trying to figure. I was like, what do these two things have? But that's the best explanation we're gonna
always
get.
in the bathroom.
That's true.
Alexis, you are the comment whisperer here. That's gorgeous. That's exactly what it is.
I'm a little afraid that I figured that one out. What wavelength am I getting on that I can figure these people's shit out?
One of these, not like the other from 1 month ago. My uncle was an arson investigator and used to jam this on his way to his next crime scene.
Jesus
All right.
Christ. You're jamming the smell of death surrounds you
To go
as
look
you
at
go from crime scene to crime scene.
arson crime scene specifically. So,
I love the smell of burnt child victims.
yeah, I was going to say, human barbecue. Got a few more here. This is Chance Cayenne from 11 months ago.
That is straight up his porn name.
I need a blast, baby. Maybe this Friday. Ain't nothing wrong with cocaine. I've been doing it since I'm 13. I'm 47 now. Just
And I'm fine. And I'm fine.
he just says, but just don't go overboard or you will drown for real, kid.
The older guy who's giving the young kids advice on doing cocaine. Kids, you can't do it 3 days in a row. That's crazy.
I've been doing cocaine for 34 years straight, and I gotta say, it rules.
I say that dude's heart just looks like something you pulled out of an old motorcycle engine.
Definitely. That's like he doesn't. He definitely doesn't eat vegetables either. He's just gonna drop dead one day, and people are gonna go, "Oh yeah, that's why you're not supposed to do all that stuff."
I've never actually done cocaine ever.
I haven't either.
Nope. I'm
Losers.
I've done more hallucinogens than most people have probably ever seen in their lives, but I've never touched cocaine.
Same.
I got this Adderall. That's my speed. That's the only speed I've done. And it was prescribed, and I took it as prescribed, so I could write papers in college.
I've got a prescription because I work third shift. There's Provigil and Nuvigil are approved for what they call third shift disorder, which is hilarious because it's just you're not supposed to stay up all night. And I have a prescription for Nuvigil, which is basically adult Ritalin.
Yeah, the stories of the hardest drug I ever did is literally like I stayed up and wrote a paper about Native Son by Richard Wright.
But you still want to have conversational crack in your room.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
the crack. I just want to talk about it. You know?
Wants to write an essay about the crack he
Yeah,
bought.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come and piss in my ass and mouth from 2 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was supposed to go on a different YouTube. I wasn't supposed to add it on that comment.
It really does sound like your sluttiest username.
This one I love because one of my favorite things is when the username and the content is like perfectly aligned. Like they created it just to say this. So come and piss in my ass and mouth says, no high ever created is me peeing in my own face. The life ending and mine slips through all time, and you all get high.
Yeah.
And by the way, he spelled peeing P-E-A-I-N-G.
Aw.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
really great. I love that he's just like, me urinating my own face will get the world high. Y'all won't need drugs after the magnanimous
That is
display.
a dedicated piss fetishist.
Yeah.
like that is some hardcore like I'm jonesing for my face to get pissed on so much that I'm going to do it to myself.
Yeah, I think that's it. And the thing is, if you were into pissing on your own face, you would never need a partner. Ever. You could live a content life, pissing in your own mouth as you please.
I just love a guy who's just like, yeah, I mean, some people piss on faces and it's just piss on the face. Me pissing on my face changes the world, bro.
It gets him high. I think is the most interesting part.
Yeah.
Changes the entire world.
You get that piss on face high.
Well, that's like that. What was that weird, like, urban legend about you fill a balloon with like pee and poop or something?
Oh yeah, butt hash. That's a
Jinkum.
Jinkum, yeah, aka
Yeah.
butt hash. That was a
That's so this dude just has taken that to its logical extreme. Not only can the Jinkum get him high, it can get the whole world high.
Big enough balloon that could save the world.
One of my favorite early episodes of this podcast, we got on that subject, and Dr. Pat, in his best professor voice, just like cleared his throat. He's like, "Listen, the thing about butt hash is," and just very seriously went into his thoughts on the subject.
I had never heard that urban legend until I was like fully an adult. Like I was probably close to 30 before I heard about that. And I was like, who buys into this shit?
It didn't come out until like the 2010s, I would say. It was a pretty late to the game urban legend for people like us.
Baxter from 3 months ago. Susan Smith is a murderer, and her attitude about her crime stinks because she has no remorse. What's more, it's possible they will release her from jail in 2025. If she gets released from jail, everybody is going to be going, "Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell that smell? It's the smell of a murderer that's around you."
Whoa.
I was wondering, I was like, why
How is
like
this related?
Years old?
I love that they tried to tie it back in.
No, I think when you're upset about a murder, you can just project it onto everything,
guess.
probably.
I just finished watching some YouTube documentary about Susan Smith that had been linked in their fucking incel forum, and went on a rant over here after they moved over.
I don't know. Is Susan Smith a person I should know about? Is this a famous...
She drove her car like into like the lake.
Oh,
and,
with the
like,
kids in
drowned
it?
her kids.
drowned
Oh,
all the kids. I think she had,
shit.
like 5 kids. It was back in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the early aughts.
Okay,
It was
gotcha.
not, it was in the 90s.
Okay, I just assumed this was some random
That's
prisoner.
what I say. It was like 20, 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
but that's what I'm saying. They had to have been watching some like YouTube documentary, and somehow the algorithm brought them here, and they were just still so fucking hyped up.
Maybe they were friends of one of the kids.
Okay, this makes a little more sense that this is a
Long
famous...
enough to have friends.
This is a famous killer. I just thought this was a random person who had murdered someone, and they were like, and they're getting out, and everyone needs to know. Tyler Hartman from 3 months ago. I'm blasting this all day to get my wife to stop vaping.
The smell of wedding cake vape.
I was gonna say the smell of raspberry cream around you.
And they spell wife Wofe, W-O-F-E.
Sometimes autocorrect fails you. Let's be honest.
No, I just thought it was funny because there's a video. I'll have to put this up on our Twitter because it is legitimately one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Where it's almost like it's a fucking sketch because of how normal it starts out. It's one of those ring cams of a driveway, and there's a car parked there, and there's this guy carrying what looks like a cake or a casserole or something dish, and he literally walks out of the house whistling like as in nothing bad's about to happen, and he even says like, oh, I need to wash my car, and then all of a sudden and his wife walks around the side, and you just hear like, and then this woman starts screaming, and he runs around the side of the car, and he just is holding up a bobcat, and he goes, a bobcat! A bobcat! And he fucking throws the bobcat across the fucking yard, and then goes to pull his piece out of the back of his pants, and his daughter, who knows her dad's a maniac, runs into his line of fire, and he's just like, get out of the way! A bobcat attacked my wife! And he kept saying and pronouncing wife, W-O-I-F-E, my wife! A bobcat attacked my wife! So that just made me think of that.
Roadkill's extended family sounds fun.
And it's like very obviously a real video because it's a real bobcat, but it seems like a sketch of how normal, like he literally should have been whistling like, nothing bad's about to happen today. Like it was that, kind of benign at the beginning.
Yeah, sometimes things like that can happen, and as more interconnected as our world gets, and as more cameras are everywhere, we're gonna see more stuff that looks like it should be a sketch. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Florida man in Connecticut.
Carlos Medina from 5 months ago, 8 years in the joint, 20 years slamming brown, years of meth and alcohol. I'm 39 and still here. Oh, that smell.
Good for him.
See, again, no repentance about it at all. No, like, man, drugs are bad. He's just like, man, 20 years I've been slamming heroin.
That's a new one. Hose Beast, Wind Up Merchant, and now Slamming Brown.
You never heard that?
I told you. I wrote a paper about Upton Sinclair during my hardest drug years. And of course, this last one here, this is just a good one about Skinnerd. So, Jordan Dickerson from 10 months ago. My buddy and I saw them at Denver University in 1976. During this song, I threw 2 ounces of good weed up on the stage. The roadies grabbed them, and I didn't think about it again. So after the show, we're heading for the car. Up pulls a giant limousine with a loaded ski rack, which... that right there, I was like, a ski rack on a limousine is, it makes sense because it's Denver, but that already is awesome. A loaded ski rack, window rolls down, and it's the whole band plus girls. There's a roulette table in the middle of the limousine surrounded by bottles, and then Ronnie Van Zant sticks his head out with that big old smile and says, "Hey, you're the guys with the good weed." And he shook my hand, and we said yes, and give him 2 more ounces. He then invites us to the after party, and they were gone. I asked my buddy if he'd heard the name of the hotel, but we were so starstruck we missed the name. Gosh darn it.
None of that happened.
Everybody
None of
in that parking lot clapped.
Yeah.
Everyone in the parking lot stood up and clapped, and that limo driver's name was Albert Einstein.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that guy should have included a part where he's like, and everybody in the parking lot was like, "Damn, dude, you're cool as hell."
Yep. Hey, everybody, this is the guy with the good weed. And they carried us to the hotel on their shoulders.
I knew it was a lie as soon as he said roulette table in the limo. Like, do you know how wide a lane of a fucking road is? And how wide a fucking roulette table
I don't know,
would have
man.
to be?
I could see it in the 70s. Not now.
I could see a little roulette. Like they'd have to shrink it down some, but I could conceivably see that.
If any band in the 70s was going to have a roulette wheel in the middle of their limo, it would be Leonard Skinnerd.
But no, where this guy's story falls apart is he put too many incredible things on top of each other. First, the ski rack on the limo.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Then the roulette table. Then he couldn't stop with we threw 2 ounces of weed up on stage. He had to say that they gave them 2 more ounces.
You know all the people that go to a concert with a quarter pound of weed on them just to hand out to the band.
I see. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a little Pollyanna-ish and choose to believe this because it's just such a nice little story. But also, I don't know how much weed weighs or how much that actually is.
It's so much weed.
Okay, well,
it's so fucking much weed.
Like, how much, Sam? How many of the big baggies do you think 4 ounces of weed would be?
Well, like, if you took like a normal sandwich-sized bag and just filled it up with weed, that would be like an ounce.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
you're talking about I would say about one of the the half-gallon freezer baggies.
Yeah, not filled completely, but yeah, big enough that you would be like, "What the fuck? This is so much weed."
Okay. Yeah. Also, it's just funny that you would think Leonard Skinnerd wouldn't just have their own
Weed Connect.
right,
yeah.
right. Besides the Dead and the Allman Brothers, I'd put Skinnerd pretty high up in that 3 or 4
Well, no,
slot
but
of.
these guys had the good weed. Not that swag that the poor boys in Leonard Skinnerd could afford. No, they had good
Right.
shit.
Also, this is 1976, so if this did happen, it was ditchweed for sure.
I think the whole thing is fucking insane.
Well,
This guy sucks.
I'm gonna choose to believe.
I'd rather
You're
hang out with the
construct a lie
slam
about
heroin
running
guy.
into famous people. Make it a believable one.
And then the whole band jerked me off one after another.
We found an abandoned hallway, and you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, see, that's what I need to spice up my story. Is it wasn't my high school girlfriend? It was I don't know,
Glenn Danzig or something.
Glenn Danzig.
There we go.
And you had given him a
I
bunch
was
of
going to say
drugs.
Shirley but sure.
Glenn Danzig was my high
He
school
has to pay
crush.
me back for sitting through Veronica somehow.
Well, and that is Leonard Skinner's That Smell, our jam of the day. Alexis, Ian, please tell people where they can find you and your wonderful podcast online.
So you can find us online at www.violetwanderers.com. That is violet like the color, not violent like the action. You can find us on Twitter at Violet Wanderers, Facebook. There's a group. We don't really mess with it all that much, though, because it's Facebook and it's full of boomers. But
Hey, now.
the website, the Twitter is really the main way to get a hold of us. And we do interviews, we do roundtables about specific subjects. Rivers was actually recently on one with Anna Valenzuela where we did scary shit in children's movies.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I was turned on to the weird and horrifying world of Mark Twain's claymation hellscape.
You're welcome.
Whatever that was called. It was Mark Twain's Adventures or something.
Yeah.
Adventures of Mark Twain, the mysterious stranger. And then a few months before that, you were on another roundtable about diners,
yes.
with Gareth Reynolds, and that was where we heard the Ballad of Roadkill.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Tales of Roadkill.
Oh, I have an update on that, by the way.
Awesome.
So I was talking about, like, I recounted the story to a guy I grew up with, who basically Roadkill goes to his mom's church apparently, and he was like,
Are they snake handlers?
no, they're Unitarians, and apparently, and I was like, when he was telling me this, I was like, that literally can't be true. But he was like, no, he has a good voice. He sings in the choir. And I was like, his voice sounds like, if cigarettes could smoke and talk, that's what his voice sounds like. So that's not, unless he's just doing, Tom Waits covers in the church choir. I don't know if that's true, but I've been told apparently he's singing in the choir.
And if anybody out there is confused by all of this and wants to know what we're talking about, go look up the Ballad of Roadkill episode on all your podcasting platforms, Violet Wanderers. Like I said, violetwanderers.com.
One of my favorite podcasts to listen to, one of my favorite podcasts to be on. It's such a pleasure to speak to you guys. Thank you so much for calling in, and we'll do this again soon.
Thanks for having us.
Good seeing you.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, and that was Alexis and Ian. Sam, where can people find you online?
Slam harder on Twitter and TikTok.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Rivers?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley, and you can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/thegoodspod. I just put up 2 reunion shows for WEGL's 50th anniversary.
Nice.
Put up an episode of Hot Damn Radio Hour. That's an hour of good old classic and indie country and bluegrass music. And I put up an episode of our rock and roll extravaganza, the Dr. Rock and Captain Fantasy show that I do with my friend Chandler. And I'm announcing this now. Chandler and I are going to make that a monthly thing. So we're going to be doing a fucking radio show. It's going to be free on patreon.com/thegoodspod. We're going to do that once a month. And you
guys are going to get sued.
Huh?
You guys are going to get sued.
Nah, Patreon's the Wild West. That's why I wanted to do it there, because Apple's a bit weird about playing full songs.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, tweet at me if I'm wrong, but it should be fine.
We know a lot of lawyers.
Yeah. He'll probably be on an episode of that, actually, the lawyer we know. But yeah, so I'll be doing that with my buddy Chandler, aka Dr. Rock, coming up. I think we're going to record one next Sunday, and then we'll probably drop those mid-month from here on out. So thanks everybody who enjoyed those and tweeted at us and stuff like that. So those were really fun to put together. And thanks again to WEGL for broadcasting us. So we got to on the 23rd, they broadcast Hot Damn at 7 a.m. So a bunch of people
Good
driving.
to wake up to.
Yeah, a bunch of people driving to work get to hear us, screaming and playing George Jones. So it's a good time.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks for being with us, and we will see you next time.
junkyard dealer plan at 12%. They ain't looking too bad. All because I drove looked over, there's no cops. See the road stretch out before me, high speed till I get stopped. Halfway through another county, there won't be no defendants. There won't be any evidence. The law